What's up?
Hey man, what's
We're
up?
back.
Yep. So is Peter.
Peter's back. Throw it up. What's up, everybody? Got a few folks tuned in. Welcome. Welcome to the kickoff. Welcome to the grind. It's here. Joel, appreciate you coming on, brother, as always. What do we got? Frank, good evening, sir. Corbin, Bob King, John, Eddie, what's up, fellas? Good to see you guys. Virtually, of course, but good to see you nonetheless. We'll give it a few more moments here, let some more people tune in, and we'll get started. That was a short winter, man. I feel like spring just came in hard. I'm not mad about it.
The Colts coming back. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're gonna find out this weekend.
I'm over it.
What's up, Arturo? How you doing, man?
We're up to 20.
All right, we got 21. Hey, good evening, sir. All right, let me get the slides up. Yeah, it's good to be back.
Corbin.
TS on. Here we go. Anybody go out this past weekend on Lake Anna?
Some people have been out today and yesterday. I don't know about last weekend.
It's been a little windy here and there, but I don't think it's been too bad. Except for that one day we had that tornado warning. I don't remember when that was. Last week, I think.
A week or two ago.
Doesn't seem like it was too crazy for most folks, which is good. Kevin, good evening, sir. All right, I have about 7:08. We'll go ahead and kick this thing off. Guys and gals, welcome to another great season. We appreciate everybody. Numbers are looking really good right now. Looks like we're going to have a good event. We'll talk about weather, talk about everything tonight, but we'll try to keep it deliberate, to the point. Most folks should have received the email by now that you want to make sure to watch this before Saturday morning. If you can't tune in tonight, if you're working, whatever you got going on, that's totally fine. Just please remember to give this video a watch, and we'll try to keep it clear and concise when we go through the slides. That way we're not, Joel, keep me from rambling too much. Yeah, that way, everybody's on the same page. We're going to cover a few rule updates, highlight a couple things there. We'll talk a little bit about, the weather and kind of what we see right now moving into this weekend. So, yeah, without further ado, welcome back to NVKBA in the 2026 season. Happy to be here as always. I think we got a really good year planned, kind of switch things up a little bit. So for those who are asking, I think I made it clear, we will be doing the 5 lakes, the northern 5 lakes first this year. So that's going to be in just a couple of weeks. So, for those who want to pre-fish now for that, make sure I think I already put the lakes down, but I'll make sure I put, make that known and announced again before, probably next week sometime. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on here. Hopefully this works. All right, cool. So we're going to go ahead and talk about registration. We'll talk numbers right now. Joel hit the current payout table and what that looks like. We'll talk rules, updates, pre-fishing. That kind of goes hand in hand with the rules. Safety. I'm going to hide this comments page real quick. Game day timeline, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. So, but yeah, please feel free to go and put your questions, whatever you may have, in the comments, and we'll get to it as soon as we can. All right. So event registration. Everything obviously is done on Fishing Chaos. If you're new to the club and you have trouble with this, please reach out. We'd be more than happy to help you out. It's at the Fishing Chaos. One thing we wanted to hit on real quick with this, we did notice we were having some trouble over the last couple of weeks of restricting the sign up to members only. For some reason, some folks weren't able to. Like what it was doing was when you click registration, if you already paid for your membership, it was trying to get you to rejoin as a member, even if you were already a member like this year. So obviously we're not trying to have you pay twice. We reached out to Fishing Chaos, so we haven't really figured out a workaround other than right now that feature is turned off. So we do have a few folks that are registered for the event, but have not paid membership dues yet. So if you're not sure if you're a current member, please just go back and double check. It's okay. You know, obviously if you already signed up, we're not going to make you, get refunded or everything unless you haven't paid dues by Saturday. So just please, double check your membership and make sure you're good to go for 2026. And we will reach out to the folks that have signed up and aren't current members. Again, it's not your fault. It's just the way the system ended up working out this year. It doesn't prompt you anymore when you sign up. So registration cutoff time is going to be midnight on Friday. So 11:59 p.m. is the last minute to get signed up. And then the identifier, we'll kind of cover that here in a little bit when we talk game day timeline and when things are going to get released. All right, moving on, rules overview. So if you've been living under a rock, hopefully by now you understand that we did make some key rule updates for 2026. And a lot of this still coincides with what KBF has done. And as of today, March 26th, I added one more piece to the rules that when I went in to look at KBF, it looks like they redid their whole rules page. So I need to continue to do, to review the KBF rules to see if I didn't miss anything else that applies to us. But there is a rule under Rule 6, specifically Rule 6C about information gathering that we're going to talk here in just a moment. It's not anything really changed. It's just an addition to it. But a couple of things here, and these aren't verbatim. These are just highlights. So official pre-fishing begins the Saturday before each event this year. It doesn't mean you can't fish before that. It just means that's the official pre-fishing designated time slot for every event. So it's going to be 7 days ahead, and it needs to be fished. If you're going to pre-fish event waters, it needs to be done out of an approved watercraft, an approved competition watercraft. So don't be out there in a bass boat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday leading up to this tournament. If you have already done that and broken that, get with me offline. We'll talk about it. But right now, as it stands, that is the official pre-fishing window for all NVKBA events from here forward. That also means no. So the 4 p.m. thing, I have it on here, but it hasn't really changed. It's just kind of reiterating that pre-fishing ends 4 p.m. Friday before each competition. And that means no fishing, no scouting, no mapping, no graphing, all that good stuff. Get off the water and get a good night's rest for the competition the next day. All right, so we talked the 7-day pre-fishing window. It has to be out of it says kayak only, but those of you who have been doing this for a while understand that canoes are still approved. There's a whole list of approved watercraft in addition to kayaks that are designated as, a personal type watercraft. So just make sure they're out of those approved watercrafts, no boats. Now, within 14 days of a tournament, so again, like I said, that 14 days, you can fish out of a boat that week before competition week. It just cannot be with a paid guide or paying for, services on that body of water. So just keep that in mind. Yes, with that week before the official competition period, you can fish out of a boat or fish with a buddy on a boat, but it needs to be just that, a buddy. You're not paying for guides, no services, and things like that within 14 days of any event. And if that's unclear to anybody, please reach out, and I'll try to make it as clear as possible. We added the video release. I think there was some verbiage on this last year, but we never really enforced it. We never did any spot checks, anything like that. This year, we're asking that all 20-inch and above fish have a video release. The day of competition. What you guys need to do is go onto the KBF website and watch the video, the proper video release. The way that you're supposed to video release fish. There is a way to do it, and we need you to try to do it as best as you can, according to the proper way that KBF has outlined. So I'll go ahead and I'll share that link as well after this. But it's really easy to find. Just go to kbf.com or kayakbassfishing.com. If you just go to Google, type in kayak bass fishing rules, you'll see it there. And I think I need to double check, but it might even be linked in our rules as well. Moving on, no drones during competition. Those rules are spelled out further in the rules, but that's kind of the highlight there. Don't be using drones on competition day. And then clarified information sharing and solicitation rules. This is where we added to rule 6C, and KBF did as well. So let me go ahead and move on here. So in terms of information sharing, I'm gonna hide the comments just in case y'all can't see that. Information sharing and solicitation clarification, Rule 6C. This is actually the third. Yeah, so there's A, B, this is C, and this bit underneath it about during the tournament hours, that isn't labeled either. So that's just part of Rule 6C. But I'll read it for those, especially for, for those who might be a little bit difficult to see. The purchasing of or bartering information about locating or catching fish on event waters other than through commercially available sources. Think FishBrain, think what else is commercially available, Bass Forecast, Windy, those types of things is not permitted. Again, other than through those commercially available sources, information, purchasing of, bartering for information about locating or catching fish on event waters is not permitted. Any use of or communication with a professional guide, and this goes back to the 14-day thing, professional guide or guide services directly or indirectly, means maybe through a friend or through whatever, pertaining to event waters within 14 days of the event is prohibited, other than through, again, publicly available sources that are available to everybody free of charge. Anglers may not solicit, this is key right here, may not solicit, receive, or willingly accept fishing or waterway information from anyone in attempt to gain a competitive advantage with anyone other than other competitors registered for and actively participating in the event. Okay, that's a mouthful. The biggest bit is underneath here. So during tournament hours of each day, so this means from the time you launch to the time the fishing concludes at 3 p.m. specifically for this Saturday, contestants may not share information about locating or catching fish on tournament waters, period. Say that again. During the tournament hours of each day between first launch and fishing concludes, contestants may not share information about locating or catching fish on tournament waters. Any collaboration on or off the water with other competitors or non-competitors for the purpose of sharing or pooling winnings is strictly prohibited and will result in a disqualification of all involved. All right. Please do the right thing, have the integrity, and we're not going to have any issues here. But this is something that KBF added. I'm not sure exactly when they added it, but I was just perusing through the rules again today, looking at them one more time, and I found it. And this kind of speaks, kind of addresses that last sentence in Rule 6C. So that's why why they added it right after it. So it just helps clarify a little bit further. So again, if anybody's confused, please get with me offline and we'll discuss it. But I think it's pretty cut and dry to do the right thing. Okay, let's keep moving. Free fishing, we already talked about that. I don't think we need to hit this anymore. So I guess one thing is the early launch, right? You're not supposed to be pre-fishing when you launch either. So we allow about a half an hour early launch. So I think Saturday is going to be 6:30 launch. Just go to where you're going, go to your spot and obviously, if you're looking at the graph or whatever, that's fine, but you shouldn't be out there pre-fishing and trying to find, doing those pre-fishing activities. Just get to your spot and focus on what you're going to do first cast. It's pretty much cut and dry. That's about it there. Joel, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, just no zigzagging to your spots.
There you go.
Right?
That's a good way to put it.
Don't go check all your spots and see if they're there and then go to your first one. Just go to your first one. So.
Yep. And again, with like launching, we don't care. We want you to get your kayak in the water, and you can get, you can launch in the water and be around the boat ramp area before 6:30. Just don't leave and go to your spot until 6:30. That helps ease up boat ramp traffic and things like that. All right, safety. We take this very seriously here. We're going to be working a little bit closer too with Chad and what he's got going on with KFast. But we really want to continue to improve and kind of bolster our safety posture within the club. So more to follow on that, but basically I'll just give a quick plug to the KFast, but there's already the basic certification out there. I think there's different levels of it. I know John Molnar is getting into it as well. So I'd love maybe to have him on, to talk about that sometime. But PFD whistle, got to have it on. If you need to change an article of clothing, you can remove it, but you better not have a line in the water kind of thing. And then make sure that, obviously put the PFD back on, zip it back up, and go back about your day. Don't get caught without it. Energy, hydration. It's going to be a little chilly out there. A little chilly. It'll probably be a lot of chilly compared to what we've had so far this week. But make sure you're drinking water the night before. Start drinking water now. If you don't drink a lot of water, get used to drinking water. Stay hydrated out there. Bring food, bring snacks. Keep your energy levels up.
Layer.
It's easy to forget about that stuff when you're competing, but don't forget about it because it's going to make, it's going to keep you strong all day.
It's going to feel like 38 minutes of the day.
Yeah, I checked it between like 6 and 7. It's going to be 30, maybe mid to high 30s. I don't think it's getting up past the high 40s for the whole day. So it's going to be cold. I don't know. How does wind look right now?
13.
So not terrible, but 13 still can be a little challenging depending on where you're at on the lake. Try to stay in the coves, in the creeks. So it's going to be interesting. Somebody's going to find them. Somebody's going to get on the fish. They're going to be there. You just got to get them to bite. Check in, check out. That will be a mandatory feature on Fishing Chaos. For anybody who's not familiar with that and you have issues with it, feel free to reach out to the phone number that's on Fishing Chaos. That goes right to my phone, so I'll be available all day. And help others out in need. I like to say that goes without saying, but we're here to compete, but we're first and foremost human beings, and we need to help each other out. If you see somebody in danger, drop what you're doing, paddle over, motor over to them, and help them. If it's an emergency, call 911. There's we don't want to take any chances with that, so please help each other out. That's it for that. Oh, visibility. First light's around 7, I think.
Yeah, sunrise is at 7.
So, have your 360-degree white light if you're getting in the water. At 6.
Change your batteries.
Your what?
Said change your batteries.
Yeah. Double check your double A's if you're running the Visicarbon Pro. Check all your batteries if you have nav lights. I know a lot of folks wire those up to their 12 volts, but just make sure everything's charged and ready to go. All right, launch etiquette. I know we kind of hit this every year, but and I think our club does a really good job of it overall. I haven't heard many complaints really at all over the years. I think you guys do a great job at launch etiquette. If you have a cart, you see somebody struggling, you already got your stuff in, offer to help them out, offer to let somebody borrow your cart. We don't want to see a bunch of trailers on boat ramps. We want to see you be efficient on the ramps, in and out in a timely manner. Rig up before you get down, before you back your trailer in, or whatever you may be doing. Just be efficient on the ramp. Shouldn't take you more than 3 to 5 minutes tops of launching your kayak. Lines wet, again, 0.7, and lines in is going to be at 3 p.m. And this is for black bass. It's going to be your top 5 fish. If this is your first time using the Fishing Chaos app, upload all your catches, and the system will automatically call. So if something does get DQ'd or you lose inches or whatever it may be, if you have a penalty and it knocks that fish off the board, it'll automatically upload your next biggest fish. So it's a pretty intuitive app for the most part, and it's been really well for us.
Remember, big fish is first fish too, so timing wise. So.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good point. If you're in the running for big bass, I mean, really anybody, if you have a big fish, make sure you upload it right away. Don't wait to upload that, because if there is a tie, it's going to go off of the first uploaded, not the first caught. It's going to go off the first uploaded. So you might have caught it at 7:30 in the morning, and if you wait till 3 o'clock to upload it, and somebody else has a 20-inch just like you, and they uploaded it at 8 or 9 o'clock, yeah, that's going to be on you. So don't come crying to me when you waited to the last minute. Keep an eye on cell phone service. If you are having issues, get to a place. It's your responsibility at the end of the day to get what you have on the board. And don't, like I said, if you think you're going to have problems, if you think you're going to have issues, do not wait until 3 o'clock to start uploading, because you only have half an hour. And at that point, I'm judging things, I'm finalizing things. I usually get a handful of fish in after 3 o'clock, but yeah, that's not the time to risk losing a fish, because I haven't had, whether or not it's you haven't brought something to my attention. I'm kind of moving pretty quick getting those fish judged. So do yourself a favor and upload as you catch, or at least close enough to, if you got a bag, you want to stay on the fish, great, but take 30 minutes after that and get everything uploaded, whatever it may take. All right, awards. Well, all right, recovery etiquette, same thing goes with as launch etiquette. Get in and out of the water as quickly and as efficiently as you can to free up the boat ramps. There's going to be some boat tournaments going on. I think there's a small one going out of Sturgeon's. There's probably a couple more throughout the lake. So yeah, be respectful, represent the club in a positive way, avoid altercations, and be the bigger person if there's any type of confrontation or anything like that. Just do what you got to do and get off the ramp. Awards. So Tim's at Lake Anna is going to host our awards again. They do ask that we are seated by 4:15, so that gives you about an hour. I understand a lot of folks like to fish right up until that 3 o'clock mark and then have a 20-minute ride back to the ramp, but just please keep in mind that we need to be respectful of Tim's, and that's giving us about an hour 15 minutes. They have a large group coming in after us, so we do ask that you're at Tim's around 4 o'clock, 4:15 at the absolute latest. Otherwise, we're going to have to start without you, and hopefully you're able to make it at some point. But we do have a hard start at 4:15 at Tim's, so that way they can accommodate us and then accommodate the group after us. So I do appreciate everybody's patience and understanding in that. All right. Any questions? I know we went through that a little bit quick, but it's the first tournament. If you have questions, if you're new, welcome. If you're back this year, welcome back. We appreciate you guys and gals signing up. And I know we got probably a few more to sign up still, so it looks like we're going to have a pretty good turnout. Let me go into Chaos just to double check. So yeah, right now we're at 55 anglers. And Joel, what's the payout looking like for this weekend?
So if everyone hasn't seen, 26 pay tables up in the website, but at 55, we're paying $14.23 for first place, $6.84 for second, $3.83 for third, $1.64 for fourth, $82 for fifth, and Big Bass is $5.50. We hit 60, we're at $15.52 for first, so it's about $7.50 on this for second. So
very good payouts. Real quick, sponsorship wise, if you dialed in early, you may have seen the new sponsor shout out video that we did. again, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here and have the caliber of club that we do without our amazing sponsors and partners. So shout out to KBF, Appomattox River Company, Catoctin Creek Custom Rods, Jake's Bait and Tackle, Bent Rod Fishing, Yak Attack, Real Snot, Rogue Gear. It's actually Rogue Fishing again. The Bomb Anchor Company, Catch, and Amped Outdoors are verified sponsors this year. We do owe you guys an updated welcome letter that is going to have all the updated sponsor discount codes for those participating. In addition to those, we have a plethora of Yak Attack gift certificates to hand out for for 6th, 7th, and 8th place. So 1 through 5 are getting payouts, and then 6, 7, and 8 are going to take home Yak Attack gift cards. We have $50 cards, $25 cards, and $15 cards for every event this year. So a huge shout out to Wade and the folks at Yak Attack for making that happen. Bent Rod Fishing, Dan Charles has agreed to provide bait packs for winners. We'll figure out who's going to take that home, but that's going to be really cool, doing a prize pack for every event, as well as a discount code this year. I think for that prize pack, because right now I don't believe we have a Big Bass sponsor. So I think Bent Rod's going to take the Big Bass sponsorship for the year. So that'll be really cool. Greatly appreciate it. Jake's Bait and Tackle offering a 10% code in store and online. We'll have that code emailed out to everybody. As always, Appomattox River Company taking care of AOY. We'll have those details later in the year. Those kind of get worked out around mid-season, and we leave that as kind of a surprise towards the end of the year. Catoctin Creek taking care of Rookie of the Year again. Appreciate you, Mark. Real Snot is going to have discount. Rogue Gear, I keep saying Rogue Gear. Rogue Fishing has, I believe that we have a discount for Rogue, but Rogue also sent another prize box. So we got a whole bunch of cool tethers and Rogue Fishing accessories coming, leashes, tethers, phone holders, all that good stuff. So appreciate Mark and the folks at Rogue. The Bomb Anchor, another 15% discount this year. We're still finalizing the Catch discount, but we're greatly appreciative of Dusty and Duke and the folks at Catch for hooking us up. And then Amped Outdoors, we have the discount again for Amped batteries. And shout out to Matt Lardonwall for that. We greatly appreciate it. There was something else so KBF, I'll hit on this real quick and I won't take too much more of y'all's time, but KBF has agreed to cover us for insurance again this year. So that is huge. I don't know all the ins and outs yet of what's going to happen next year. We are working with Mark, who's helping out with the Ambassador Club Series. Mark Ferner, I think his name is. Really good dude out of Long Island. He runs Long Island KBF. So we're kind of putting our brains together to figure out a way forward for KBF, how we can help KBF help us. So more to come on that, but I think it's going to be a next year thing. But we got to keep these events insured for everybody's safety and to keep this thing going. So we'll keep everybody updated as the season goes on how that's going to go. But as of right now, we are fully covered under KBF insurance. And obviously that goes without saying, Mr. Chad Hoover, we greatly appreciate you and everything you've done for the sport and for the club. All right. What did I miss? I know I probably missed some stuff. Corbin, yeah, 2026 decals. They have not went out in the mail. We did hand out a bunch when we went to the kayak show at Jake's. We're going to have them again at this weekend's event at Tim's. So we'll make sure we have the welcome packets there. And whoever doesn't pick it up this weekend, we'll start mailing them out after this weekend. But, yeah, the more we can hand out in person, the better, because postage ain't cheap.
Not getting cheaper.
And it's not getting cheaper, sadly. I don't really see any big questions. Guys, if you got questions, please ask them. We'll hang out here for a couple more minutes. But we've been going now for about half an hour. And, man, I'm just excited. I'm happy to be back. And I know it's just going to be an awesome year.
So go check Messenger real quick and pull that up when you have a second. Just the trophy stuff. And then I'm dropping this link in the chat. Guys that fish the classic will remember this. Any Android users, just watch this video. It tells you really how to set your phone up for. Did it not go through for the one? Hold on one second.
I see it.
It popped up as an error though. You can throw it back on screen, but the that's more or less how your location is shared for photos. Android has a weird workaround that needs to be done in order for Mike to be able to see where that photo was taken at. Otherwise, it's not exactly accurate, is what I'll say.
Yeah, and if there are issues, if I see something kind of looks weird, I'll make sure to hit you up. If you're on the water, please just keep an eye on your phone. Keep an eye on the app. I start with the chat feature on Fishing Chaos. If I need to reach out to you, if I don't hear back within an hour or two, I'll start calling if I see an issue. But please, make sure your stuff is working. And sometimes I identify this kind of stuff when maybe there's an issue with the check in and check out feature. But yeah.
The image come through I sent you a screenshot of the trophies. So I don't know if it did.
Yeah, I got it here.
So I don't think they're going to make it here. I think they're going to get here Saturday afternoon. If they do get early, I may ask my wife to see if she wants to drive down.
And that's, I know Catch has been really busy. We're trying, hopefully we'll get them, but if we don't get the trophies in for this weekend, we'll be sure to, link up with the winners afterwards. Let me see if this worked. Yeah, so here's what we're working with right now. So we're going to have the bumps at every tournament. We have Big Bass too. I forget.
Big Bass is the medallion there.
Oh, yeah, so instead of the green Big Bass trophy boards, we're going to have medallions, and these are pretty cool. So not only is first place getting something, second place and third place is going to get a medallion as well. So big shout out to Catch. I think these things are going to be pretty cool.
And then we'll have a side pot one also for any of the tournaments where we have snakehead.
Yep. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. I don't see any major questions. If you got more questions later between now and Saturday, feel free to hit me up. And again, thank you, everybody. I'm looking forward to this. I know it's going to be a cold day, a windy day, but it's going to be a good day. So
layer up,
and pack a dry bag. Joel, you got anything else, man?
Nope, ready to go.
All right, appreciate it as always, brother. And everybody have a great night. Have a great tournament Saturday, and I'll see everybody at Tim's. Out here.
Later.